please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos back. So Mando is back, and I would say not just Star Wars is back, but genre in general is back. Star Trek's awesome. I think Mando is. Look, the first episode had a bit of dodgy writing. We're going to be clear about that. First had a bit of dodgy writing in season 3. This is a review of The Mandalore in season 3, episodes 1 and 2, if you didn't know from reading the thumbnail. Some of the writing in episode 1 was a bit dodgy. Apparently, that was supposed to be episode 3. Episodes 1, 2, and 3 were shoved into Boba Fett, is the rumor. And I don't think they are dumb as can be for not repackaging that as a special prequel movie to like bridge seasons 2 and 3. That would have made a lot more sense because a lot of people would have watched it and they would have understood what's going on. I think that was one of the big complaints about episode 1. They're like, well, 1 second, he just went with Luke Skywalker, now he's in a new ship and he's with like, what's going on? We don't understand. I think that's why they were. But it's Disney, baby. Okay, Disney are not the sharpest tools in the box. They have a lot of money. Or used to. I think is what we're going to be saying. But generally speaking, I think genre is massively turning around. I think, the dark times are over. Quite frankly, I'm getting ready to see my own yub, quite frankly, because I really look, it might not be the greatest thing you've ever seen. I still feel this is authentically Star Wars as I go through, when I review this. I'm joined in the middle of episode 2 by my good friend Dan Hadley. You'll see a cut because I turned it off because I didn't know he'd seen the episode yet, so I didn't want to spoil it for him. So he joins me then. Go subscribe to his channel, his Facebook. Fantastic channel. One of my favorites. It really is one of my favorites as it happens. Like, share, subscribe. Oh, also, going to ask you, head over to Rumble and subscribe to me there. Why? Because I think that's going to become my main channel. I got a community strike, what was it, about a week or so ago for completely nonsense reasons. It was from a review I did like over a year ago where I was reviewing this trans radio Doctor Who drama. Which wasn't very good, and the characters in it weren't very likable. So I did a review saying, I don't like these characters, and they called that hate speech against trans people. No, it was like it was a bad story that I didn't really like, that I was critiquing. I should be able to critique. Anyway, the politics is going crazy. January 6th exploded last week, which is... if you don't know about it, I'm not going to bore you with it. It's just too much. Basically, it looks like this big thing was a huge con job. And I don't know. If I just read the news, at some point, probably YouTube are going to give me a community strike because they don't like the news, right? It was the same thing during COVID, right? Like I may inadvertently read it and get community strike. I may read it and inadvertently get a community strike. There's nothing I can do about it. But I'm going to be mainly on Rumble. I find my live streams do a lot better on Rumble anyway now. It's really turning around. So that's probably going to become my main channel. Please can you head over to Rumble and subscribe to me there because I would like to try and build that up a bit. Thank you very much. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Also look in the video notes. Follow me on Substack. Follow me on it's my email newsletter, Twitter, Instagram, they're all there. Just follow me and everything. That's safe. That's a safe thing. So follow me and everything. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. Are you enjoying Mando? I am enjoying Mando, right? I am actually very much enjoying Mandalorian, as I think is quite evidence from this review. Like, share, subscribe. Yeah, I think it's everything. Now, this review comes from a live stream I did last night. I'm recording this on Sunday, March 12th. The review comes from March 11th. It's episodes 1 and 2 of The Mandalorian. Let me hand over to me from last night. Mando. So the first episode, not the strongest of Mando episodes. There's a lot in it I liked, right? A lot in it that I liked. But there was some really genuinely atrocious writing, right? But still, there's a lot I like. Here, one second. Let me pull up the episode guide. The Mandalorian. Let's see who wrote and directed this one. The Mandalorian. Doink. Okay, Wikipedia. By the way, if I become president of the universe, one of the first things I'm doing is scrapping this logo. This logo is bad, right? Bad logo. Season 3. Both episodes written by Jon Favreau. I don't know what happened with the first episode. Good direction on both, though, right? I'd say a good direction on both. So there we go. There we are. So, look, what I like about Mando is it feels like an authentic extension to the Star Wars universe, right? It feels like an authentic, it feels Star Wars, right? It feels like this is going to be happening in Star Wars universe. I would, if they want to rescue Star Wars cinematically, you want a Luke Skywalker Mando movie, right? And it seems to be Jon Favreau is saying they're going to be getting different. But I don't know. He says that when we're moving to the sequel trilogy, let's wait and see what happens, right? Maybe it will, right? So starts off, this episode just highlights everything impractical about being a Mandalorian, right? Starts off, we have the whatever her name is, the Mando Smith, right? And she makes a helmet. It's kind of cool. She makes a little Mando helmet for a new Mandalorian. Now, as we know, Mandalorians aren't allowed to take the helmet off. So this is essentially a bar mitzvah where the kid's going to become a boy in an iron mask, right? There you go. Do you like the air on your skin? No, it's not going to be fun. I mean, there must be some kind of like weird sensors that it feels like air on your skin or something. I don't know. So she gives him a mask and says, yes, I will follow the creed. And he gets a little Mando mask. I'm a little Mando. Yeah, a little Mando boy. Hava, Nagila, Hava, Nagila, Mazel Tov. It's his bar mitzvah. And they start doing the Mando shit. And then I like all the variations of Mando. I like the big chunky one. I like this one. I like them all. I like this is just cool, okay? This is just cool, right? And suddenly, makes no fucking sense, but who cares? The big sea serpent comes up, who somehow, I mean, don't they have any scanners in their Mando helmets? Again, doesn't really make sense, but great action scene, right? So the Mandos start going pew, 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 with the little Mando guns, right? He gets a big Mando gun, pew, 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 right? They can't dent it, right? And it's fun. It's fun watching all the Mandalorians fight a giant sea serpent. I'm enjoying it. But they get their ass kicked too much, right? They get their little Mando ropey things on them. And it's not going well, right? All of a sudden, he eats a Mando. Yeah, a few of them go down, right? They fire into his mouth. It's not going well. There goes, look up in the sky now, Mandalorian, our Mando, Don Juan, Jin John. Rab's got full Jewish. He's not allowed because he said one time I took off my helmet. This seems like a very impractical religion, right? So you're a Mandalorian no more, until you bathe in the waters of Mandalore, the mines of Mandalore, which have been blown up by the Empire, right? And they're scattered, empty people. But in flies Mando on his new ship, right? So this apparently is episode 3. Episode 1 and 2 were taken for the Book of Boba Fett because they're, that's shit. We better make something good in that, apparently. I did not know that. But yeah, in comes Mando, boom, and he kills a big beastie, right? And it's Mando and Baby Yoda. Yay! Now, they're fucking stupid for not making a movie-length episode and release of the stuff from Boba Fett and releasing it before this. Right? They are so dumb for not doing that. It's painful, right? Oh, man. But anyway, yeah, so he's got a new ship now, and he's people are complaining they just didn't know what's going on, right? They're all pissed off. So he's the Apostate, which means he's a bad Mando, right? And he's like, okay, you saved us, you can talk for a few minutes. And he's like, whatever, and go to the mines. Is it they don't exist anymore? And then he showed them some bit from the mines. And he's like, if I can get there, if it exists, and bathe them, show you proof. I'll be redeemed. And she goes, this is the way. And off they go. Lovely little scene, okay? I love this little scene. They're flying in hyperspace. And apparently this connects to Rebels or a cartoon, I don't know what. Baby Yoda's looking up, and he sees like these like whales in space flying around them. So he goes and snuggles up with Mando. I love this, man. This is good. Right? This is genuine only thing I'm interested in watching right now, right? Mando and Luke Skywalker movie. That's what we need. So before he goes, none of this makes fucking sense. It's so annoying. Like, you could have written this so much better. He needs to go to not the Mos Eisley, whatever the planet that he normally goes to in the first episode of the season, right? The one with Cara Dune in it, where they're going to explain why she's not there, right? So he lands, and it looks very much like a Disney Hope Resort, right? This is what Galaxy's Edge should have been, right? You should be able to, these should be your hotel rooms, right? And that's what it should have been like. This is just morons, right? They're just morons. Yeah, and so there's like, they show this town. It's all like gentrified. There's lots of money going through it. It's you have a protocol droid, getting people to come in and try stuff. Music playing. Again, this feels like very much a Disney resort, right? And in the middle, there is a IG-88 robot statue because he gave his life to stop stormtroopers or something. And he looks up, and he's off he goes. And so he meets what's the name, Cole Weathers, he used to be the guy in charge of bounty hunters. Now he's like the magistrate. He's gone straight, and everything's really nice. And he says, look, come and stay with us. You can. There's a gold mine going on here. You can have this plot of land. It's great. And he's like, no, I'm here because I need something. He uses the Force to get candy, like it a lot. In comes a protocol droid and says, no, you've got to come. There's a problem. So these pirates are back. They haven't been there for a while. They haven't been there since everything's gone straight. And I do like the makeup design in this, right? And it's very responsive to their faces, so that you get decent performances out of them. So these pirates are like, we want to come in. It's like, and this is where the bar used to be. I said, well, now it's a school. Come, you can drink at my place. He's like, no, we're gonna drink here. Meanwhile, Mando looks on coolly. Yeah, you see how expressive this makeup is. It's very good. It really, really does work. And it looks like it's going to come to fisticuffs, but Cole Weathers is so good, he just shoots the gun out of his hand, and when the others try to get involved, Mando just shoots them dead. And off they go, said, oh, the pirate boss is going to be mad at you. So this is why Mando's here. Makes no fucking sense. To go to Mandalore on his mission to go to the mines, he needs a droid, and the only droid he can have is IG-88 or IG-80, whatever it is, who's already been blown up, right? It has to be him, no other droid. Now keep that in mind, because that is going to be reversed, okay, in the next episode very quickly, right? So he wants the IG-88 statue, and he wants to fix it. So he gets it working again. And it freaks out. It goes back to his old programming and tries to kill Baby Yoda. Target acquired. Again, great scene, right? And eventually the protocol droid dumps the bust of whatever Cole Weathers on him. Doink! Said, well, listen, we can take it to these repair people. And so you get these cute little repair people aliens. And like, no. No fix, no work. And he said it needs a new memory card. He said, well, if I get you a new memory card, will he let it? Can he fix it? He said, yeah, but it won't have any memory. So it's not the same droid, but I don't know. It's just stupid, right? So off he goes, in the Mando ship, and flies off, and he talks to him about navigation. Part of being the Mandalorian, you always got to know where to go, right? But then he's waylaid by the pirates, and now we're gonna get you. And again, good. This is great Star Wars. This is a good dogfight in space. Again, this feels like I'm in George Lucas's universe, right? He does some pewing. And he's I like the different doggy aliens. Well, that's not doggy. Let's say I can't remember the name of the species. Anyway, so good dogfight, and they try and round him up to be caught by the Pirate King, who looks kind of like Swamp Thing. Okay, whatever. Seems fine to me. It's not the best villain. And in next episode, then we get a good bloody villain, right? And he flies away, whoosh, right? And so now he arrives on a moon of Mandalore, where to a Mandalorian castle, right? And out he gets. I like seeing all the design work. And he goes down along cement corridor, and Bo-Katan is there, right? Bo-Katan, this is what she does all day. Like, I'm just going to sit in my big chair, right? And he's like, I want to go to Mandalore. Is it possible? And I like that she's sexy, by the way. I like the feminine, sexy armor. That kind of turns me on. And she's hot, right? So he says, yeah, I'm going to try and get to Mandalore. Okay, here we go. And she's like, leave me alone. Don't like you. Blah! And the episode's over. I like the production paintings on the titles. Very cool. The whole thing with IGA, just stupid. That was a good little scene where Baby Yoda wants to play one of the little aliens. I love Baby Yoda, right? I like Baby Yoda. And there we go. That's Mando episode 1. A solid episode of Star Wars. I still recommend watching the Boba Fett episodes first, because nothing's going to make sense, right? Starbuck Boob Armor says PD. It is, and it turns me the bone, mate, right? It just does. Next episode, we're back on Tatooine, right? And this whole Tatooine scene of the repair shop, it feels like a story they'll come up on Star Tours, right? This is something like you watch as you're waiting to get on a Disney ride, right? So he's there to get his speeder fixed, and he said, well, it's going to take time to get your parts. We're going to need some money up front, blah, blah, blah. So don't worry, I'll put a rush on it. And in come the Jawas who had the parts that were stolen and said, yeah, we're going to put it all back on, no problem. So basically they're just conning the sky. And in flies Mando. Dun, dun, dun. And hi, how you doing, Mando? And Baby Yoda. Obviously, Baby Yoda. Of course you are. So then he says he needs a memory card for IG-88. And he's like, she's like, I don't have one. Can't get one. Sorry. Here, take Red. You know, the robot from the droid from Star Wars. You know, that R2D2 sabotage. So was it Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru wouldn't buy him? That one, right? Take him instead. He's exactly the same as IG-88, right? He's going to be exactly the same as the droid that you had to have him or nothing else, right? So they forget the stupid idea. Thank God it's over. Yeah, it's just dumb, right? It was I don't know. You could have taken those set pieces and written the script around that much better, right? So anyway, she's like, so take Red. He's like, no, I need IG-88. He said, nah, he'll do. Go on, I'll put the thing in where he can be in the back like an astrometric. They take off for some reason. There's fireworks going off. It looks very pretty, right? Yay! Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. Okay, here we go. The Mines of Mandalore. Excellent episode. Really excellent episode. So he finally goes to Mandalore, right? And they go through like this. So Mandalore apparently was like bombed by these like heavy, these special bombs from the Empire after after Order 66. I guess the Emperor really didn't want. I like there's a spiritual nature to the Mandalorians, right? And I guess he saw them as a challenge, so that's why they were vanquished, right? Very, very quickly. So as he gets under the cloud, he went to Katie Sackhoff last episode to find out where the mines were, right? So they get there and they want Red to go and check the weather, do a spectrographic analysis and all that stuff. So off he goes. And they follow him on a scope, and then he vanishes, right? He says, don't worry, he'll be back. Oh, 1 second, that's interesting. Okay, 1 second. I have to pause this review because The person coming on may not have seen it, right? So off it goes. 1 second.
So what do you reckon of Mandalorian this week then? Because I'm not talking about that.
We'll get back. So Mandalorian, freaking awesome, right?
I loved it too.
Listen, we had good set pieces last week, but the script that linked together was nonsensical. Okay, I'm prepared to admit that, but I enjoyed the set pieces. Right, there was no need for IG-88, right, or whatever it was. Like, it was no need to that whatsoever. It was just an excuse to get him to that planet so he could say hello to people. And then they go to Tatooine and take the red droid from Star Wars. You can have that one instead. Identical, right? Identical. But other than that, this episode I found was just excellent. I absolutely adored this episode. What do you think?
Largely the same. I think it's got all the flavour of the first two seasons when that was firing on it's not all cylinders, because that escalated as things went along. But when that show really started to come together, this is what it looked and felt like.
Yeah, I agree. I totally
mythology
agree.
Building.
Yes.
Moments that make you want to sort of, if not punch the air, not far off. Very cute.
Lots of those in this. I mean, especially in this one as well. So lots of those. Fine. I want to go through it relatively quickly because you got to stream in 25 minutes. Okay, so that's the goal. So anyway, the red vanishes. So Mando pressurizes his helmet, and he said, "Fine, I'll go do it." But basically, the droid is now totally useless. Right, that whole plot point is useless, and off he goes. And there's just a lot of cool, fun shit on the wreck of Mandalore. He sees the old Mandalorian city, and then these big Morlock things turn up, and you get lots of Mando fighting. Dun, dun, dun. He doesn't really know how to use a darksaber that well. That really becomes quite apparent.
And that's quite not endearing, but it's the little details like that. The fact that he's struggling to wield this thing that really adds to the character.
Right, like he really needs to train with it. that was it. That was the ongoing vibe. So anyway, he finds Red and says, "Okay, everything's fine. We can go down to the mines of Mandalore." Great little scene where they fly down and down and down and down and down and down and down, right, until they get to the bottom floor. Again, love all this, right?
Yes, wonderful.
Great creepy bit where they're going through the mines and there's all the scary monsters and all the stuff that's there. He goes a look around and I love he finds all these old Mandalorian helmets. That's really cool, right? But then we meet this awesome villain. Star Wars rotates around great villains, and I wish we knew more about this villain. It really interesting. This giant robot thing, he gets caught in a cage in it, right? And takes him back to the lair. So Baby Yoda sneaks up. What do you think of this villain? I love this. We didn't even know what it is at the time.
Well, yeah, it's hard to work out. It seems similar to General Grievous in the way that it's some
kind of cyborg, right? Because you see this organic eye inside it, right? And then there's a different version of it climbs out of it, and he gets all his Mando guns and stuff. Then Baby Yoda comes to try and rescue him, and he can't open it with the Force. So he's like, "No, go back to the boob armor. Go to Bo-Katan." He's like, "Don't have to tell me twice, mate. Run!" And monsters come and get them, and he bravely runs through everything and goes up, and the couple of Morlock things turn up, and he pushes them out.
Amazing. That scene where you get the cave mouth and the Morlock just flies out. Wonderful. Yeah. Just wonderful. Beautifully timed. And again, punch the air moment.
You're right. The timing was absolutely perfect on that, right? Then more monsters show up, and off they take, and they head over back to Katie Sackhoff, still hanging out on a giant cement chair in a giant cement castle, right? I'm just going to hang out.
The production designs are strong as ever, though, isn't it? The way that they've got all the architecture all ties into Mandalorian
I just said that when look. I was my review of episode 1. Freaking awesome, right? Absolutely awesome. So he's like, "God, he's back. Fine, I'll tell him to piss off once and for all." And we're like, only Sorry, I thought you were going to say something.
No, I was laughing.
And Baby Yoda, listen, Katie Sackhoff is just hot. How old is she now? 50? I mean, like
she's got to be close. Yeah,
she looks really good, and she's very good at doing the action stuff. So then she jumps into a very, very merchandisable ship, right? Which you can like it's just. Do I get any pictures of it? Like, hi, I'm in Bo-Katan's. There you go. Does the wing thing? That's such a merchandisable ship, right?
Yeah, proper Star Wars.
So she has to show him where it is. By the way, it's not the boob armor. I love the femininity of the Mandalorian. Like, this is a powerful woman, right? At last, it's not because she's not trying to be a man, right? I love the proportion of a helmet, right? It looks feminine, and that's a good thing. So I'm so happy to see real Star Wars back. Anyway, off they go. She flies down as well. Now she knows everything about the Mandalore. She's like, basically, this is what, 5 years later, probably 10 years. This is 5 years after Jedi. So this must be This must be 25 years later then, right? It's been 25 years old because this happened towards the beginning, and that it was 20. Star Wars was 20 years before, after was it Revenge of the Sith, right? So it's been about 25 years destroyed. But anyway, they fly down, and there's like Baby Yoda shitting himself, says, "No, you got to be brave, Mandalore. Oh, this is the way. Right, off they go. She's looking around. Trying to find him. And was it? And eventually, I think, does she? Oh yeah. So she finds the droid, and he's like trapped in. And so the droid is like draining him of blood for some reason, right? I guess.
It seems to be sort of it's a bloodletting of some kind, taking him for resources. Because if this creature's sort of part organic, maybe he needs that as well. Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. Totally what I'm thinking. So this is a. So then it's a good Bo-Katan fight. She picks up the Darksaber, and she really knows how to use it, right? So I have a theory that this episode is going to result in Bo-Katan being the ultimate leader of the Mandalorians, which I'd like, right? So anyway, so she kills it, and then it comes alive and walks off and goes back to its giant body. Just really good choreographed action. I love the Darksaber. This all is fantastic, right? And she like plunges the Darksaber through it, and finally the eye dies, right? Meanwhile, Mando's about to pass out, and she wakes up, and he's making pod soup? I can't remember. So this is like, what's that? So apparently this is something that every Mandalorian has. So I like that he had no idea what it was. And she's like, "Yeah, listen, I came in when I was a kid. I don't believe in the religion."
Do you think that he's so entrenched in the idea of bathing in these waters and all of these trappings, all of these traditions, and the way? Do you think he's so entrenched in that partly because there's some sort of illegitimacy behind his upbringing?
I'll tell you exactly what it is, right, from a first-hand perspective. I wasn't brought up religious, right? So I was like a normal, like agnostic, secular person, atheist, whatever, until I was like about 19. I went on a vacation to Israel when I had an open ticket, and there was this place. There was a rabbinical seminary, right, that existed to like educate Jews who didn't know much about being Jewish. But I knew it was going to try and proselytize me to become religious, right? But they're offering me free bed, free food. I'm like, I'll give it a try. The classes sound interesting. No problem, right? And then they won me over very quickly. I was like, oh, in that case, I think I agree with you. and I've been religious for my life. But here's the thing. When you first become religious like that, after you haven't been, we call it flaming, right? You are, I gotta be the most holiest thing and do everything right. There's no compromise on anything. There's no shades of grey, right? That's how you are for about 5 years. It's a normal process. That's basically what he is.
God, that's fascinating the way that you describe that. I would say, from my experience in people that I know, is that, and this is, I suppose, why they compare wokeism to a religion, to a faith, because that's how wokeists behave. That's how a lot of, I'm in no position, I'm not judging these people, but it's also something I noticed too in vegans. They're exactly the same. It's like, they go hardline.
Like fanatically connect the voters, like, is ultimately a bit strange, right? Okay, so Cancast Crashford says Sakharov makes armor hot. She does. I mean, again, there's this women who exude sexiness. Gillian Anderson playing Margaret Thatcher proves that point, right? It's Margaret Thatcher, the opposite of sexy. Gillian Anderson making Margaret Thatcher. I'm like, that turned me on. I don't know how, but it is. And she looked and sounded like Margaret Thatcher. It's just an internal sexiness, right? Anyway, I like Bo-Katan. She's like, fine, I'm going to take you here. This is what I went here when I was a kid. I am a princess of Mandalore. So they take him down, and she's like, yeah, look, I don't. She basically explained that she kind of fell out of the Mandalorian lore after the fall of Mandalore. She's like, well, we were so divided then. So I have a theory, right? So wait a minute. First he takes her to. She takes him to the holy waters, right? Which apparently everything's fine. They could just build a settlement right there. I don't know what their problem is, right? Everything is totally fine. And so he does this whole dramatic thing. He walks into the waters. I will do this, and suddenly sucks him down. Lucky old sod. Sucking off, and then so Katie Sakharov jumps right in, right? And I'm thinking, now she's also bathed in the waters of Mandalore. She's also kosher again. That's why I think she can end up being the leader of somehow, right? So she's like flying down, trying to find him. Finally, So there's this giant sea monster that lives underneath it, right? And it's
this was awesome.
Mandalore, right? This is some like ancient stuff, right? You could just, you see a look at it, yeah. So this is their, and it was supposed to be mythical, right? She didn't know it was there, but anyway, she sees it on the way up after rescuing Mando. Out she comes. I want to see if she takes her helmet off. Though that would be, We haven't seen her take her helmet off again. So although I want Katie Sakharov to take her helmet off. Anyway, so he's bathed in the waters of Mandalore. He's kosher again. He's ready to go. They basically wrapped up that plot point. What's going to happen next? Who knows or dares to dream? Looking forward to it though.
It's just warming up. Right? I do. Do I have a thumbnail for the show? Yeah, I do somewhere. Hold on. Where are you? Where is it? What's going on? Be with me one moment. Yes, I
watched both Mando episodes on Wednesday. They were Star Wars. The IG-8 nonsense was just a reason for Mando to there to kill some pirates in an epic space battle. I do agree with it. Yeah, I do agree with you. Sorry.
And here we are. Yes, well, to me, this is the warm-up. It's getting people, so, remember this show, you liked it before, you could like it again, and it'll gradually, it's a shame there's only 8 of them, but there you go.
My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.